epithelium. Remember this point? This is with increasing age and age is focal. So this is one difference in the epithelium. Second, guys, please. Now, lamina propria. This is the lamina propria of the nasopharynx. Look at this slide. This is epithelium. RE means the respiratory epithelium. Now, in this lamina propria, compare this lamina propria with this lamina propria. This is also lamina propria. Everything is shown separately. You can identify this, because there is a proportion. Now, what went wrong here? The whole lamina propria, or almost most of the lamina propria is occupied by the lymphocytes. So this area, the roof where there was a bulge, there is an aggregation of the lymphoid tissue. So this aggregation, look at this here, open mouth. This elevation in the posterior third of the tongue is called as lingual tonsil. On the side, we know where 1 and 2 here, we have palatine tonsils, and now there is another tonsil present in the roof of the nasopharynx. Because it is in the pharynx, it is called as pharyngeal tonsil. What is the structure of pharyngeal tonsil? Epithelium, respiratory with patches, and the lamina propria is occupied by the large number of lymphocytes. This is the histology. The structure is called as pharyngeal tonsil. Now what happens? In young children, maybe infants, early ages, especially if the parents, they don't take care of the hygiene, lollipops, sweets, toffees, or maybe hands not clean, there is a possibility if they're not eating properly. If they're not eating properly, there is a possibility of germs entering in or trying to enter in. So these lymphocytes, they get stimulated. When they stimulate, the first thing they do is katakat. They multiply. They increase in number. They form plasma cells. They form antibodies. So the size of the lymphoid aggregation increases. When it increases, the bulbs come forward, so much so that it closes this opening. Now, a mother will bring her child to you. You are in like emergency clinic or outpatient department of medicine, whatever. And her complaint would be, doctor, look at my child. He cannot breathe normally. He is not breathing through his nose. He will be doing like this. Why? Because the nostrils are blocked. No other reason. There is a mechanical problem, mechanical obstruction. If some of you are interested in mechanics, it's simply mechanical obstruction. There is something obstructing. So this enlarged pharyngeal tonsil is called as adenoids. Of course, it has stages. If it's very small, okay, no problem. It can be treated properly. If it enlarges, it's still treated. But if it becomes this much big and block the posterior nails of the nostril, surgery is required. We need to examine. I'm just trying to make it interesting for you. A normal structure can become abnormal and can cause problems. Any problem till here? No. So now I can say that I have given you the brief, 4 minutes brief, histology of the upper respiratory tract. It consists of 4 layers. Epithelium, side we know, lamina propria structures we know. Third layer is submucosa, just this thin layer of connective tissue, and the fourth is cartilage or bone. Okay? Now, this is very important. Functions of the upper respiratory tract. Remember, upper respiratory tract includes, I am repeating for I don't know which time, it includes the nasal cavity, it includes the paranasal sinuses, and it includes the nasopharynx. Okay. Now, and see, I have so many things here to test your understanding. I will not say your knowledge. It's not about knowledge. It's about understanding. Filtration. If I say upper respiratory tract is involved in the function of filtration, so there are 2 structures. Like see, number 1, we all know that at the beginning of the nose, the nostrils, we all have hairs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is His design, perfect design. They're not for irritation. They're not for like, they're not causing any harm to us. We should not remove them or like forever, permanent. No, it's dangerous. These hairs, they are like a network and they trap the largest particles in the inhaled air. So this is one mechanism. If you pinch them, if you try to breathe them, a reflex is generated and then you sneeze. Because the diaphragm and the other upper respiratory tract structure, they don't like it. There is irritation. So the hairs, which are called as vibrissae, it's the name, they are for the filtration. Second, we have goblet cells in the epithelium. We have mucous glands in the lamina propria. Both of these structures secrete mucus. So all the time, along the lining epithelium, on the surface of the nasal mucosa, there is a coating of mucus all the time present. So when we inhale air, and if there are macromolecules, not large enough, larger are trapped by the hairs, smaller than, but they get entrapped by the mucus because they come in contact with the mucus, they stick to the mucus trap. Now, it is supported by the cilia. When there is enough mucus collected with the macromolecules, cilia keep moving, but the direction of the movement is backward towards the pharynx, from the pharynx into the esophagus, from the esophagus into the stomach, and in the stomach, hydrochloric acid is waiting for such things. So there is that clear? So this is how we do filtration. So function of the mucus, function of the cilia, function of the hair. I explain. Humidification. Humidification means if the air is dry, adding water vapors to the air. This process is called as humidification, and we all know that in dry weather, like in Riyadh, sometimes we use humidifiers in our bedrooms, in our lounges, so that the dry effect of these air conditioners can be overcome. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given serous glands in the lamina propria. They secrete a watery secretion. The nature of the secretion is water. So if the air outside is too dry and we are inhaling, so before it reaches the alveoli, otherwise there will be problem. So water vapors secreted, present in the serous secretion are added to the air. The air becomes moist. So by the time it reaches the alveoli, it's moist enough. Is that clear? So what structure is responsible for the humidification? The serous gland. What structure is responsible for trapping? Like we have the mucus. What structure is responsible for propulsion? We have the cilia. What structures are responsible for trapping or entrapping the largest of the molecules? We have the hairs. Now, temperature modification. Basically, there is an air conditioning system. Subhanallah. Air conditioning. When we say air conditioning, so it's in both directions. If the air is warm, we like to make it cool, and if the air is cold, you would like to make it warm, so that its temperature becomes same as the temperature of the blood near the alveoli, so that the exchange can take place. Is that clear? Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given vascular network in the lamina propria, capillaries. When we need to release the heat, capillaries dilate, heat is liberated, and the temperature is added. Now, whenever we want to reduce the temperature, they are constricted, no blood flow, temperature cools down like this. The normal function of the blood vessels, the capillaries. This is how capillaries take part in thermoregulation. So this is not, I will not use the word thermoregulation here, otherwise you will be misdirected. It's modifying the temperature of the air, or you can say air conditioning. Okay? Olfaction, smell. We all know that nose is used for smell, but not the nasal mucosa. You see, this part of the nose here, upper third of the mucosa, it modifies from nasal to olfactory. A special type of cells appear in this epithelium, and they are responsible for the perception of this sense of smell. So another function of the upper respiratory tract, because this is the list of the function of the upper respiratory tract, is olfaction. Now, resonance. Who can explain this resonance? What is the resonance?
Vibration of frequency, the same as the wavelength.
Very nice. This is physics.
Yeah.
Well, any better explanation?
When you speak, there is air inside the balls. So when you speak, you vibrate there, which makes
Any other? Just give me example. Interact with me, Shabash. Maybe I can get a good example. Yes. Okay. Now, when you enter in an apartment, in a villa, in a house which is empty, all empty, There is nothing, no carpet, no curtains, no furniture, nothing. It's empty. You want to buy it, it's empty. So, like, what will be the effect on the sound? What happened to sound? Echo. Is that clear? Why? Because there is no structure to absorb the excess sound. There is no damping effect. There is echo. Now, once you buy that villa, apartment, whatever it is, and you just furnish it with everything, now you enter and then you go, no problem. Excess sound will be damped. This is one example. Second, I'm trying to explain to you with the help of example so that you can understand. Okay, what happens when we have flu or this influenza or when the air sinuses are blocked? What is the effect on your sound? No damping. So as a result, the voice becomes ho 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 ho. You, am I right? Your voice is not normal. There is echo because the air is not entering the sinuses, not coming back. So the air sinuses, if they are intact and their communication is intact with the nasal cavity, one of their function is to dampen the sound. We have a beautiful sound. This is called as resonance. Okay? Now, light in the skull, yes, by the presence of the skull bones, otherwise they would have been very solid and heavy bones. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them light. Equilibration because of the auditory tube, and most important, just 1.5 line, but there is a story. You too. Stand up please. You too. The green one and the blue one. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
No, please. Today no sorry. Sometimes you need to learn a lesson. Thank you very much. Shabash. Why are they disturbing the others? Okay? So immunological surveillance. It's a beautiful word, surveillance, like security cameras are there. There is a system of security, different type of defenses. A complete mechanism. The whole immunity can be discussed here, I'm telling you. So for us, to start with, one of the functions of the upper respiratory tract is this surveillance. What structure do we have for this? See? We have plasma cells, we have the mast cells, we have of course the macrophages there, so the whole lamellar propria is full of the cells of the defense. Even the adenoid tonsil is there, the pharyngeal tonsil is there. Is that clear? I forgot to mention these 4 tonsils, 2 palatine, 1 pharyngeal and 1 lingual. They form a ring, and the ring is called as Goldier's ring. It is considered as first line of defense. So anatomically, you know their structure, their location. It's called as the Goldier ring. So you understand the function. That is why I say for me, because I emphasize on structure-function relationship. I try. This is how we can make histology simple and interesting. So structures are mentioned and the functions are mentioned. So see, understanding is number 1. Later on is testing, the examination. Of course, they are all very good for me. I can ask anything. Yes, my dear.
What is the clinical importance of the ring?
Of the? See, ring means it's the name given to 4 tonsils. So these tonsils are like 4 security guards. They are present at the opening. They are covering the opening to the pharynx, and they are covering the opening from the nose down to the pharynx. So anything that is trying to go down to the pharynx, either into the respiratory tract or into the esophagus, it has to pass through, go through this ring. So now you can understand what is this clinical significance. They are like, yes, they are, I'll not say hardly, they are watchmen, like, okay, they're keeping an eye. Shabash, no problem. Now, see, I'm very slow and I don't want to go fast. Lower respiratory tract. Lower respiratory tract starts from larynx. So before we start the larynx, then trachea and other tubes. Their histology is easy, general concept. Please. Remember, this is larynx, trachea, primary, secondary, and then all. These are all tube-like structures. These are all tubes. So when I will cut them in transverse section, you will see that the tissues are arranged in layers, and there will be 6 layers of the tissue. 6 layers. We have taken the histology of GIT, we have taken the histology of the cardiovascular system, very easy in the same. Now this is the arrangement of the tissues in the lower respiratory tract. The first tissue will be epithelium, respiratory epithelium, lamina propria, connective tissues. Then there will be a 3rd layer of smooth muscles. Then there will be a 4th layer of again connective tissue called as then there will be cartilage. There is, okay? Maybe like if it is larynx, there is a possibility, but even in the larynx, there are all cartilages. The sixth layer will be adventitia. So let me prove it. See, what is this layer?
Epithelium.
The second is, then SM is for? Now glands are present in which layer? And then what is the fifth layer? Sixth is not included here, but let me show you before. Sorry. Look at this beautifully. Like see, I keep searching Google images so that I can see an image that can help, that can support my text. Okay? Look at this. What is this tissue? Just for the epithelium. The second is? The third is? The fourth is? The fifth is? The sixth is? So now it's easy. This is general description. Now, don't come to me and say, Dr. Zafar, you said there are to be 6 layers in the wall of the lower respiratory tract, but in the bronchiole, I can't see all these 6 layers. So I'm not describing individual segments. I'm saying this is how we start. The maximum possibility of having layers is 6 in this order. Then we'll start. Based on this, we'll start discussing larynx, different structures. This is one. Plus, one thing which is important. In which layer glands were present in the upper respiratory tract? In the lamina propria. In which layer glands are present in the lower respiratory tract? This is the point. This is something which sometimes I feel that you are missing while you are studying. Do not only memorize. Try to compare as well. This is the difference in the structure. Is that clear? Okay, now let's start. So epithelium is respiratory epithelium, but it's not respiratory epithelium throughout. Here I will take few minutes. I have no hurry. I need to make things clear. Now start from larynx. The tallest epithelium will be there in the larynx. Tallest. The tallest columnar cells will be found in the larynx. Maximum number of the cilia and the tallest of the cilia will be in the larynx. But as we come down from larynx to trachea, you will see there that the size of the columnar cells will start decreasing. They will remain tall, but not as tall as they were in the larynx. Now compare larynx to the primary bronchus, primary to the secondary bronchus, secondary to the tertiary bronchus, because the airways are becoming thinner, till because they have to ultimately become alveoli. So this thinning effect, it will have to be at the cost of some success. So if I say this word, it undergoes progressive transition. So it starts from tall pseudostratified columnar, short cell, tall cell, short, tall. A time will come when this pseudostratification will be lost and all cells will be like columnar. There will be no pseudostratification. Name of epithelium will be changed from pseudostratified to simple columnar. Then cilia. Time will come when no cilia. It will remain only simple columnar. Simple columnar will become simple cuboidal. Simple cuboidal will become. This is a progressive change from above down. Okay? Lamina propria is a normal connective tissue with all its constituents. Just a minute, my dear. A smooth muscle layer. Normally, the smooth muscle layer is present at number 3. 1, 2, 3. And the arrangement of the smooth muscle layer is beautiful in the respiratory tract. It's not circular. It's not longitudinal. It's like a spring, a spiral, like the spring, the shocks of our vehicles. So this arrangement alone can help for shortening of the lumen, narrowing of the lumen, and shortening of the length. A spiral arrangement has this beauty. It can serve for both circular and longitudinal. Okay? And surprisingly, the proportional amount of the smooth muscle increases as we go down. Proportional amount. Now, what is number 4? Connective tissue. Cartilage. Initially, you will see complete ring of cartilage. Then cartilage will become thin. Then it will be divided into small plates. Then the number of plates will. A time will come when there will be no cartilage. So as the airway will go become smaller, cartilage keeps on and then adventitious thick. So start with 6 layers, then we'll reduce the number of layers, we'll reduce the thickness of the different tissue layers. Yes, my dear, somebody wanted to ask a question here. Yes.
Can you repeat the transition from pseudo?
But the transition means it's the transition in size basically. So if at the proximal end, the uppermost end, you have the epithelium where the cell size is the tallest. Okay? But in the next segment you will observe, you will notice that it will remain pseudo-stratified, but if you will compare the two sizes, the second will be slightly smaller or shorter, and then it will keep decreasing like this. So it's progressive change in the size. This is called as
The
transition.
slides, it says simple squamous.
This one? Do you think it's a simple squamous?
No, it says it becomes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. In the larynx, it is tall, pseudo-stratified columnar ciliated with goblet cells. It is tallest. It will become so thin, that ultimately it will become simple squamous in the alveoli like this. Okay? I explained when I was explaining you the duct system. Even in the duct of the glands, it starts with a simple, then it becomes tubular, it becomes columnar, then becomes pseudo, then becomes stratified columnar, then becomes stratified. So this general scheme is there, remains there throughout. Now, 2 more slides for your concept, and then I think, look at this. Please remember, this diagram I have taken from Google Images, I was already written. There are some labels here which do not match with the name of the cells which I have mentioned, because the text, the reference is different. So this is one explanation. I want to explain you, give you this concept that, look at this. Sorry, this is an epithelium, and this is the basement membrane of the epithelium. Is it simple or stratified?
Pseudo-stratified.
Okay, pseudo is acceptable, but don't say stratified for God's sake. It is pseudo, but still pseudo is a type of simple. Okay. Now, are all cells in this line same?
No.
They're not same. So, what I'm trying to explain or prove that yes, in a given epithelium, there can be different type of cells. Like, you remember GIT in the stomach, throughout the GIT, I was explaining. So, exactly like this, in the lining epithelium of the respiratory tract, there can be different type of cells. You understand? Now, what type of cells can be there? Look at this. Columnar ciliated cells. Now, look at this cell, it is columnar, it bears cilia. Yes. 30% of the cells are approximately ciliated. What is number 2? Goblet. This cell which has, like see, granules in the cytoplasm, it doesn't look like a goblet, but just consider it as goblet. 30%. Basal stem cell, undifferentiated cell, somewhere here, 30%. Now, there are cells, they are called as burst cells, small granule mucous cells,